Hey guys, All Cars and Bikes here, and today we are driving the lovely and beautiful Abarth 500, originally at 135 horsepower, now somewhere around 160. Let's do this. You have already seen the Abarth. We're not gonna get too much talking here or showing the interior, as you could have seen it before. There's not much to show except the radio, the sport button, which is what we're going to have turned on right here, triangle, and fog lights. And I believe that's it. This is the AC, it's digital, but hey, we're just gonna use it today. It's kind of warm inside. Full tank of gas, and let's have some fun with this car. We're going to be driving on a road that we've already done in the first Abarth video, but this time it's going to be a bit different. We're going to do a review about this car and how my living with it has been for the past 4 months of ownership. The Abarth 500. Wow, what a fun little car. It's actually a small Ferrari, you could say. Italian car, Ferrari very close to this car, and my lord, it can be seen. This car is from the year 2012. It originally had 135 horsepower, as seen in the first video, 1.4 T-jet engine with 206 Newton meters of torque. Right now, thanks to a tune, this car produces somewhere around 160 horsepower and 250 something Newton meters of torque. So we're gonna have some spectacular fun in this little car today. This car is very fun. It's small, so you can fit in any place in the town when you're trying to park. And oh my god, the price, you can get one used for about 9 or 10,000 euro. And for the money that you give, you get so much fun, so much music, such a package. It's just great. This one cost me 240,000 Czech crowns, which is, as I said, approximately 10,000 euros. And I got 135 horsepower, 200 Newton meters of torque of fun, and only 110,000 kilometers that were done on this car prior to me by 2 owners. So right now I'm the 3rd owner of this car. I can't tell you what a blast it is to drive this little car. I say everyone should try this car at least once in their life, because it's a love or hate relationship with this car. There's nothing in between. Either you love it or you absolutely despise the car. This particular car is very comfortable to drive. It's pretty much stock 100%, except the ECU TUNE is stock. So far there are some changes to be made by me, starting with the exhaust, the gear shifter, the wheel, the steering wheel, and some cosmetic details, but those are pretty much minor and I don't count those. This car has changed its dynamic completely since the tune. You can see the gauge, which shows you how much the turbo is pushing, and it takes more air, which means that the turbo is going to push the car a bit more. So right now it's somewhere around 1.2 bar. See, so we averaged 0.8 and now the car does 1.2 on full pulse. So we're gonna try that on a better road. Right now we're still in the town, and I'm not one to, I'm not one for tickets very much, even though the police are definitely not going to be here today on this road whatsoever. But boy, this car is fun. It has a fuel tank of 35 liters, and the range that you can drive on this car is about 500 kilometers if you really know how to conserve your fuel. In this car, conserving your fuel though, oh my lord, is not something that you're going to be very keen about. this little car, thanks to its small weight of only a few hundred, well, only this car, thanks to its small weight of 1.1 tons. Oh my lord. So much horses on 1 kilo, it's almost unbelievable. Wow. Great job, Abarth. Great job. I have had the chance to drive a Fiat 500 prior to this car, and I really like the design, but the Fiat 500 isn't a car for me. I like the design though, and I went for a search and I found the Abarths. And my lord, that was about 4 years ago when I first heard about the Abarth. And I have to say that I've always said I want to drive an Abarth one day. And there I went and bought one as our car for our small family. It's done everything perfectly. There has been so far no issues. We've had it for about 10,000 kilometers and there are no issues whatsoever. We only changed the oil once, and we also had a coolant, well, not leak. There was a problem in the cooling system, not a major one. There was a problem with the dose that keeps the cooling liquid, and it just, there was a hole in it, probably because of some animal who bit through it, but that's it. 120,000 kilometers driven on this car, and this is the only thing that, well, had to be changed so far. Turbo, fine. The service has been done on it, so everything in the engine is just, well, right now it's perfect pretty much. Of course, these minor inconveniences are going to happen at times, but that's fine. It's a used car still. Oh my lord. Yes, this road is not very good for, anything sport-wise, but even these roads are pretty much okay for the Abarth. They're still, manageable in this car, and it's very easy to drive the car, even on roads like this. I have to stop and rearrange my boot. Okay, and we are back. So as I was saying, this car, even though it's a very small car, the suspension is actually quite nice. And even for a road that has as many holes as that one had before, the car performs exceptionally well. You wouldn't guess that it's built on a Fiat 500 because it just works the way it is supposed to. Car is pretty much glued to the ground. And it doesn't matter if you do a sharp turn or a long, fast turn. I mean, what more do you really want? Yes, the car is small, of course. It's not practical at all. It's a very small, you can't even call it a hatchback, I'd say. It's such a small car that there's not a word for it. It's a fast Fiat 500. Fiat 500 on steroids. It's a car that's going to beat your regular car's ass 24/7, every day of the week. If you just woke it up in the middle of the night, let it warm up for a bit, you'd be able to shred like, well, pretty much every mass-produced car for families and, practical cars. Easy. This car makes it to 100 from 0 in about 7-point-something seconds with the tune. Without the tune, it was closer to 8. Now it's 7.6, 7.5, I believe. So it went down by like 4 or 5 tenths, which is actually pretty good. If you take into consideration that the 595s have the 165 horsepower engine with this torque, well, I just pretty much got that in this car, but for just a few thousand Czech crowns, instead of buying an actual 595 for hundreds of thousands of more money than this car has cost me. I don't know about you, but I think that's a pretty good deal. So far, no issues, by the way. About 2,000 kilometers done with this tune and no issues so far. So hopefully it stays that way. Oh yeah. Okay, this time we're not gonna go on the highway. We've already been there for a bit. We're gonna go there a bit later on this video. Just a tiny bit. Oh my lord. If he goes the same way we do, we're gonna overtake him there. We'll see. Oh, okay. That's good. This car is very good. It pulls and it wants to go. In terms of comfort, this car is very good. You can also lift the roof up, so in hot summer days, that's perfect. You have this little sun cover, basically, sunroof cover, which makes the sun obsolete to, you know, well, the sun rays obsolete to anything. So, yeah, good thing this. The windows can be pulled down, of course, by buttons in the middle of the panel, which is a bit different from regular cars. It works, it's handy because it's right next to your gear shifter, so I think that that's actually better than most cars right here, because you have to, you know, kind of, it's weird, but this is good. We're gonna go to right here. This is insane. Seriously, this car is insane. If you've never driven a car like this, like the Abarth, you're not going to know what I'm talking about. But this is absolutely phenomenal. So weird that such a small car can get so much emotion in you. It can make you smile so much. It's just, wow, so good. Such a good car. If you shift in the exact right spot that you have to, somewhere between 3.5 and 4,000 RPM, the car sometimes lets out a muffled pop or bang from the exhaust, which is pretty nice. You know, it's nice to hear. Of course, it's not necessary in this car right now, but it's nice to hear that a sporty car has a sporty sound, which as well you could have heard in the first video, because the Abarth, for being a four-cylinder car, how do you make a four-cylinder sound as good? It's probably the best four-cylinder sound engine there is, hands down. Really very good for a stock car, so good job, Abarth. Now, I wouldn't recommend you buy this car as a family car, as a car for, you know, yeah, but you have to buy this car for the fun. You have to buy it because you want it, or because you need it emotionally, not because you need a car to use every day with your family. This car is useless as a family car. Sure, the trunk is pretty big. I was quite surprised when I first saw the trunk of this car, but at the same time, it's not practical whatsoever. And if you just step on the gas pedal, the car just goes. Woo! 170, no joke, no problem at all. Even though it was downhill, the car just did it, easy peasy. And here you can see that we're cruising at 150 right now. I hope you can see that through the wheel. And the car is stable. There's no wiggling, no heavy wind sounds, nothing. The car just stays in its way. And if you press on the throttle, it actually kind of pulls. 160, 170, 180, like it's nothing. This car is amazing. So you buy this car for the fun. If you want a small hot hatch, which is not even a hot hatch, it's 10 times smaller than a hot hatch. Oh my lord, great car, love it, wouldn't trade it. Probably for a new model, yes, but not for a different car right now. And now, as always, it's time for the ultimate all cars and bikes rating of this beautiful little Abarth 500, which is practically a monster. Well, at least it goes like one. Yeah, I have to give 2 ratings for this car. There's no way I can give 1 rating, 1 universal. It can be an average of those 2, sure, but that wouldn't really make sense. So, for it being a car that you want to buy, I easily give this an 92, 93%. All the way, easy, not even a question. For being a practical car, which you would want to buy this, hands down a 50 or something. There's no spots, you can sit, there's 4 people that can fit in this car, but that's a no-go. Even though I know people who went with Fiat 500 for their vacation, even in the cold cars, of course. In the old times, the cars were much smaller and people went on vacations throughout the whole of Europe. In 4 people, fully packed with luggage, and they didn't say a word. But nowadays, no. I'd say there's much better cars for the same amount of money to get if you want a practical car. But strictly speaking, for the fun, this car is an easy 992 out of 100. The sound is great, the handling is perfect, the comfort, not much of it, but you don't need the comfort in this car. And the speed, poof, you wouldn't say that this is a 160 horsepower car with the speed it has. But of course, that's the weight speaking. 1.1 ton. Poof, nothing at all. Wow. Guys, I have to say this one thing. I need to thank you so much for watching all of my videos lately. They have gotten so many views over the past few days. They've reached from 30 to around 400 each in like 3 days, and I don't know what to say. I really wasn't expecting this kind of answer to my videos, but thank you so much, and I hope that you enjoy watching them as much as I enjoy making them. I do have a question for you, and that is, would you like to see only new cars, or would you like to see newer cars, or do you not mind seeing even used cars or like 20-30 years old? If you want to see some exotic cars, of course we all do want to see that, but I'm not sure that I will be able to do that until we're at the later stages of building this channel. But if you want to see normal ordinary cars like the Opel Corsa or Kia Ceed, like used cars, please let me know, and I'll make sure to make a video about them as well. So guys, thank you very much for watching this video, for sharing it with your friends, and if there's any car you would like to see next, please let me know down in the comments below, and I will try my best to find a car and to make a video about it for you. We're going to get to our usual spot, and we're gonna do the one famous thing that everyone is 100% looking forward to. And guys, you're not gonna believe me, but yes, it is the famous horn test. So let's park the car up easy peasy, There's no parking sensors, there's no camera here. It's a roll car. And we are stopped. And now, window down. And for this car, I mean, what more would you expect in this car? Yeah, so there's that. Well guys, thank you very much again for watching, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye.